Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is Dee Dee Russell with WeddingVenueOwners.com, and you are watching the Wedding Website Strategies private podcast. Some of you will see the first half of the podcast where the amazing Ariel from I Do Wedding Designs will be walking us through some tips on how to get the most out of your website, some incredible insight on website strategy, which we always like to say is your best sales tool, your best sales asset. So if it's not selling for you, we can help you fix that and make it even better. So every Wednesday, we will upload this and make sure that the first half is viewable for all. And then the second half, which is so exciting, is our private podcast portion. That is where we are going to announce a weekly winner of our $500 website assessment. And today's winner is, well, you'll wait until the end to find that out. So Ariel, welcome. Thank you so much for doing this. We're so excited. Ariel with I Do Weddings. With I Do Designs. Yes. And before we get started, I just want to remind everybody, please subscribe on our YouTube channel and like and share and follow and encourage other venue owners to find these great resources. So Ariel, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so excited to be here and share some tidbits of information, just educate people and get them like pumped and ready to do their websites, make them awesome and make them work for them. I mean, let's make these things work for us, right?
Let's make it work.
Yeah.
Let's drive that car.
Yes, exactly. So today we're actually going to be going over one of the most important things that I've seen so many websites and they don't even have one, which is just shocking, is at the very top of your website, you need a call to action. Without having a call to action, it's kind of like going to a grocery store and there's no checkout line, or they don't know where to go to pay. And then they're confused and they don't know where they're going. So we're going to go over why call to actions are important, because we want people to go to their next steps and pay you. You know, we want them to get them booked. So let's get started. So today's agenda, we're going to go over, what is a call to action, because sometimes people just don't even know. We're going to go over making sure that you're using it right, correctly, and, why you should be using it and how to create a powerful one, and even some examples that you could even use on your own site today. So yeah, as a wedding venue, I mean, your whole website's page objective is to entice couples, to start a discussion or get a tour booked. It's just to help guide them through the whole process. I mean, literally, it's the beginning steps of anything before you even meet them in person. A lot of people say their website is just, it's just there. They don't, they don't think twice about it. But really, I mean, it's one of your best employees and it's available 24/7. So we want to ensure, no matter what page, somebody is on, that they know what the next step is, because if they don't, then they're going to get bored and go on to the next page or to another wedding venue. So let's get started. So as Dee Dee mentioned, I'm a website designer. I've been designing for about 10 plus years. I'm also a wedding venue manager. So I do know, the ins and outs of venues and, what we need and what we don't need and those crazy brides and all that. So my mission is just to help, other venues and wedding professionals have a website that works for them, because, I know firsthand how busy we are and how stressful it can be. So, might as well make it work for you. Take some time to set up, but once you have it set up, oh gosh, it's going to be great. So like most people say, you have literally like 1/20th of a second for a couple to determine if they like your site or not. I mean, it's literally like, boom, yes, no, maybe. So we want to capture their attention as soon as they land on your homepage. There should be no scrolling to have to find out what to do, who you are, any of that. So within that snap judgment, it's going to help couples determine if, they trust your site, if they like your brand, if they want to book your venue. I mean, it's literally seconds. So, we want, like I said, get their attention. So like I said, we're going to make it easy for them. So what are call to actions? There's no one size fits all action, call to action. You can't just put words on in the page that says, click here, click here, click here. You want people to click and then start their booking process or start the inquiry process, however, which way. So you almost want to map out and decide what the main goal of your website is, and then help them through that, lead them on that path, that journey, So it takes them there, so they don't have to look around. So like I said, what is a call to action? A call to action is exactly what it sounds like. It's pretty much an invitation to your potential client or, your couple that, helps them get to point A to point B. It's usually like, get started, sign up now, book a tour, anything like that. So they're really important. They get overlooked all the time. It's really going to help encourage your audience to participate in your site, keep them attracted to it instead of getting bored and moving on. So we want to have good call to actions that work and work for you. So here's kind of the basic definition, if you may. So like I said, it's the instructions to your viewer, the next steps. So let's guide them. So the other question is, where do you put these call to actions? I'm sure some people are like, where do I even put this? So there's a term called above the fold. So this dates back to pretty much when you had old-fashioned newspapers and you had those headlines at the very top, and it was above the fold of the actual newspaper. So we want to have those call to actions above the fold. So you'll see on the right-hand side, I kind of have a screenshot here. So the fold is this dotted line, and you want to have what you do and how you do it and how I get started on it, all right here, just in that very top section. There's so many sites I go to, and it's just a picture and maybe their name, which is great, but now what? I don't want to have to scroll for miles just to find out how do I book a call, or it's like a maze. So we definitely want something up front and center, whether it's read more or contact us today or whatever. So don't make them look hard or work hard to just find a call to action. Always have one above the fold, and you can even sprinkle them out throughout the rest of the homepage. You could have a little bit after the fold, you have a bit about your venue, and you could put learn more. So then they're not searching, so they can, find it a lot easier and navigate through the whole site. I mean, you do have your navigation at the top of the site, which is great. Obviously, those are all technically call to actions, guiding them point A to point B. But if you sprinkle them throughout the site, it's going to make it easier for your potential couples to navigate throughout. They're very effective, they're compelling, and, it's just going to help your audience get there. So why should you use a call to action? It's, to keep your visitors, your viewers engaged, to, let them start, their path to booking and whatnot. And, it helps pretty much just to guide them. Like I've said numerous times, it's to help them. You have something to offer. They want to know how to get it. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, I think Dee Dee's gone into call to actions too. I mean, she's kind of, recommended, guide them to point A to point B,
Well, and
Actually, you have quite a few in yours, right?
Yeah, and just to interject on that, a lot of people really think from the perspective of a venue owner, and sometimes you have to remind yourself to think from the perspective of a visitor. Is it confusing? Have you hidden your menu buttons at the top? Sometimes there's those little dots at the top. That's where your menu is, but a guest coming there might not know that's where the menu is. Or if you want to keep the clean look, and so you've kind of hidden them around and they have to search for it. How hard do I want the pizza is the question always to ask. Is your pizza good enough for me really to look through and search through, or am I going to get frustrated and leave? And that's kind of, you want to always make it so easy for them to find how to get a hold of you. When someone's standing there with their money out, you don't want to be slamming the door going, I'll find you later. We'll search around in the dark and connect each other. It's got to be so easy. The roadmap, 1, 2, 3, 4, look at your website again through the eyes of someone who's never seen it and doesn't know anything about you or your business, and ask yourself, is it as clear as I think it is?
Right. It kind of goes back to my analogy with the grocery store. You're at the grocery store and you're shopping and you got all your stuff. and you go to the checkout, there's nobody there to check you out. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to put all my stuff back and I'm going to go to a different grocery store. If I can't
Okay.
check out.
I love that analogy because first of all, if you can't figure out where the entrances are and you go in the wrong way and people get mad at you, and then if they're, all the grocery stores are switching over to not having a human being there, and I can tell you, let's just base our whole philosophy on grocery stores today and how they relate to wedding websites. I know you've gone to the grocery store and seen that person freak out at the front yelling, where is everybody? Where is the checkout? Why is the line so long? Don't make your website like that experience.
Exactly. And essentially your website is your online office. Put it that way. It's like your online home where people are going to go and you're going to start the whole process. So let's make it easy for them, Don't make them work hard. Nobody wants to do that.
And listen to them too. So if they come to your website and they're like, oh, I was searching and I couldn't find, or if you keep getting people asking you a question that you answer on your website, but they keep asking it to you, think about a way to make that more dominant on the front end or on the first points of access.
Yes, for sure. Make it easy. So far we've covered pretty much, what is a call to action, why it's beneficial, but with anything else, they must be done right. You got to do it correctly. Otherwise, it's going to be just click here, click here, click here. You don't want it. So we want to have something compelling that's going to make them want to click. We want to urge them. We want to, make them think, oh, what's behind that button? Or, you know what I mean? So, some examples that I just kind of whipped up was, especially venue based was, book a tour. It's like, okay, I want to book a tour, or, say I do. Ooh, it's fancy, find out more. That's kind of a generic one. Or explore our venue. Doesn't that sound more exciting than learn more? Like explore. So it's about making it like fancy, like, ooh, okay, yeah, you spark some interest there. So
make your signage sexy. There's no reason to be boring. Our audience doesn't want boring. Click here, use this, arrows, you can put your personality in there. Let them start to fall in love with you. We all know the best asset of any wedding venue is the venue owners and managers. And your style of managing and operating can start to shine through. If you're fun and outgoing, use some of that terminology. It doesn't have to be legalese. As a matter of fact, if it is not legalese, it's more warm and it's about the business of love and romance and trust. So, you do want to be professional, but you want your personality to shine through too.
Yep. Some of the best sites are those that feel real, like it's coming from a real person. I always tell people too, when they're doing their website copy, the wording on their website, write for humans, not robots, not corporate people. We're humans. You want to spark emotions. You want to captivate them. Nobody wants to read corporate typing, documents and things all day long. No, make it, warm and fuzzy, make it something great, these are just a few examples. Just I whipped up real quick. You're welcome to use them. I don't care. Spread them through your site. Come up with more. I'd love to see more. If anybody has any more, they want to, share it on the Facebook group. Like, hey, look at my awesome call to actions. That'd be great. We can all we can all learn from each other. And I think, sometimes some people come up with amazing ones. I'm like, oh my gosh. I had one that said make them swoon. Oh yeah. Instead of just, learn more. So it's fun to see the interesting ones because it's like, wow, they actually put some thought behind it. They didn't just put up a button, And
I can say some of you are not masters at poetry or creative, or you just look at those blank pages and you lose, your personality isn't as easy to convey. And that's why someone like Ariel is amazing. If you need to get in touch with her, if you need to connect with her, all that information will be here. And this is why we're going to do this weekly, because this is so vital for your success and your revenue and building your business. So, when I found out that we had an expert that is not only a venue owner and management, but also in graphic design and in website design, it was awesome for me because I myself have been ripped off terribly by those people that come along and want to sell websites and don't really know what they're doing. And especially they don't really understand wedding websites. So if you need additional help and you can't figure out how to write that creative, you can post in the group and get some ideas, but Ariel is a great resource and you do have access to contact her. This isn't just a once a week. You can contact Ariel outside of this demonstration.
Yep. My favorite though, in reference to what you just said, is I love it when I get an email from like, like those spam email thing, like, oh, your SEO needs to be updated. And I'm like, they're saying, oh, I can get you, higher rated on Google. I'm like, well, you found me, didn't you? you know, so I think I'm good.
Yeah. I love those too. And I think it's funny. I could see your face like looking at their, how did this one do their sales pitch? Let me check that out. And,
oh, it's hilarious. Yep. But back with call to actions, like we said, don't blend in, try to stand out, add some personality to it. If it blends in, people aren't going to see it. You know what I mean? Even just design wise, you just don't want like some text on a page that says click here. You want to make it pop. You want maybe color or, put it on like a button. I mean, you can also even do hyperlinks where the text, is, hyperlinked to another page. There's so many different ways to do it, but if it blends in, it's almost like buying an ad on a blimp that is painted with blue clouds. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna blend in. You're not gonna see it. We want to make it pop. We want them to, tease them. We want them to figure out what's behind that button. So make it pop. So here are some of the best practices, like I kind of just said. So the buttons, which are very effective because, you can have your little description and then you can also have a color, you can have it then linked to the page that you want to send them to. And they just pop a lot easier, The other one, like I mentioned before, hyperlinks. So that's where you're just going to be highlighting the text and then you're linking it to the page. So this is great for, more information, for, a free download, or like say your pricing, contact, anything like that. You can always have that there. I've actually seen a lot of wedding venues do it for their vendors. So they'll actually link to their actual vendors, or they'll have kind of like a resources page with their preferred list of vendors, and they'll hyperlink the name and then it will link to their site. But in return, you want to make sure that that vendor is linking to your site, because I think Dee Dee, you mentioned too, all these backlinks and how they're so great for your site. Helps you show up more on Google. It makes you more legit. So
there's
hyperlinks,
so many
definitely.
reasons to do that. And Ariel and I are going to probably do, I think we could do a whole series on how to do backlinks and increase your SEO organically, but also to get more value out of your vendor relationship. There's so many that we'll do on that. But it's very valuable, but also just even from the perspective of making your venue stand out. When a couple comes to your website and they see resources, they are going to be more likely to come back to your website and use you as a resource and see you as a leader in the wedding community locally, because you have these additional resources. You have something on your website that they need and that gives them value. And when you give value and they return, you become a standout. So you want more traffic, you want more wedding relative content and those SEO phrases that are valuable, but you also want to be seen as a resource that makes them stay on your website longer and want to come back to your website.
Yeah, no, and also too, I mean, it makes you look like you have your crap together. I mean, like, oh wow, we have these lists of vendors that we work, like we work with. So it's like, okay, they've done this before. They know what they're doing. They have resources for me. Okay, I kind of trust them already, making my planning for my wedding easier, thrown right here on a silver platter pretty much. So totally makes sense. So phrases, call to action phrases that work. So there are some magical words. So, it's always great to use them. So here are some just basic ones. Like I said, we can get more creative than this, but I just kind of whipped this together. So learn more. So this is going to pretty much, this is great for pop-ups. So this is great, for, when you want to direct viewers to a landing page or for them to get more information. So say on your homepage, you have a brief about your venue section, and you do want them to learn more about your venue, your actual venue, maybe the history of it. That's where you would put a learn more button. Schedule a tour. That's going to be a great one. So you're going to actually help them understand, and begin the process of working with you. So, schedule an appointment or schedule a tour. I know during COVID, it was so important to have a website that worked for you. A lot of people actually started doing the virtual tours. So that was a great call to action because, people couldn't actually come necessarily to your venue and do a tour. So, by having a call to action on your site to a virtual tour, boom, saved you time right there. You're already beginning your process. Explore is going to be, great for, for them to discover more about you, why are you better than so-and-so down the street, all that. So it really will help them dive deep into your actual venue's information. So the overall takeaway of all of this is pretty much don't overlook the call to actions on your site. They are very important. I know sometimes people just think, oh, well, it's just a button. I mean, whatever, try to put a little bit of effort into it and just think of something that's going to be enticing for somebody to click on. It's kind of like those buy now buttons, it's like, ooh, okay. Or, you want to click on it. And again, this is your opportunity to persuade your audience to take that first step, to take that action to get them booked. So it can obviously mean the difference of losing this person because they don't know what to do next. Okay, I'm on your site, but I have no idea what to do now. And, to lose them, or to actually have somebody start the booking process. And that's the whole goal of a call to action, is to, again, guide them. So that's pretty much it on call to actions. It's very brief, but we just kind of wanted to dive into it and how important it is. Do you have any input, Dee Dee?
Yes. Well, of course, I have 7 hours worth. So we'll have to continue resuming over and over to get all this out. But I just want to say, again, we set these up as wedding industry experts, and sometimes with technical experts that are not wedding industry experts. So no matter how you set your website up, just always remember you have to draw them a map and give them a guidance. And your call to action could be a button. It could be a small pop-up. I hate big pop-ups. I don't mind small pop-ups. I don't like a pop-up that I click out of and then it harasses me again and pops back up. Some people love pop-ups. I also, with COVID happening, there's a lot of home pages that you all haven't checked in a while that still have those warnings of COVID alert and COVID, maybe take those down, and hopefully we don't have to put them back up again, or just minimalize them, or don't make them so scary. Where we are now with our education and insight on those types of things is a lot better than where we were a year ago. The other thing is, describe to them what is the process. So a lot of venue owners get really annoyed with couples that might be searching at 2:00 on a Saturday afternoon when you're in full swing of wedding setup and managing a wedding, and you do not respond or do anything. So make sure that either when they click on that call to action and send their information, they get notice that pops up afterwards. Thank you for submitting, and look forward to us getting back to you on Monday afternoon. Or if you contact us on the weekend or after hours, it could take up to 2 days. We love to get back with you as soon as possible. Please understand on the weekends, it might take longer, just things like that, so that you're educating them, and that reduces your frustration level and their frustration level. Just, give them an idea of the experience, because these are couples. They've never done this. You do this every day, and they might assume that at 3:00 when there's a ceremony going on a Saturday, that they hit enter and it's been 5 minutes and you haven't called them back. What a jerk. How dare they? They don't know. We're educating them on the process of, getting married and planning a wedding. And this is the first time they've done it, and they may not have the resources or background that you have. So just keep that in mind. They are not experts. You are. Guide them through what the process looks like. You can even tell them, the first step is for you to fill out the contact form, and then I send you pricing and information. So some of you that don't have pricing listed, or you have basic pricing, can say, I will send you my pricing, detailed pricing, and instructions on where to go from here, so that they know to look in their inbox. And then you have instructions. What we do first is I review your information, you review pricing. I'll reach out to you during a weekday from 8 to 5 or 8, whatever your process is. And then, just kind of let them know but don't leave them out there blind, because then they don't have any connection to you. The connection hasn't really been tied and started. They're not on the next step up, going up the stairs to booking for you. And so you need to just really remember, don't skip stairs. Don't, hide the elevator up the street around the corner.
Welcome to the journey.
Yeah, just walk them through it is very much like your website is like a building, and you're guiding them on how to navigate the building.
Yep.
So look at the website, and just remind yourself from the perspective of a couple. And then remember the reason that we're doing these call to actions first is because this is a huge part of your conversion. It's so important in your conversion rate and your conversion process. If you don't have a good call to action, your conversion numbers are not as easy to read and to collect that data, and then to figure out ways to book more couples and ways to, access more of your ideal clientele. All of these things you have to know as you're, on your journey to being more successful and always managing your success. And that call to action is the data point that starts that.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting because there's some integrations sometimes I add to some people's websites, and it's called Hotjar, and you can actually add it to your site, and you can actually it like thermal maps your site, so you can actually figure out exactly where you're losing these people. So it's absolutely fascinating to actually be like, oh, okay, so they only stopped here, they didn't get to point A to point B, so okay, I need to change something here. It's very educational, but most of the time, if you have a call to action, that it leads them to the next step. So like you said, it's going to help them through that journey.
All right. So everybody, I hope that you enjoyed this. Again, this is our private podcast for wedding website strategies. And we're going to do this weekly, Ariel and I talking through different topics. If you have a topic that's important to you, email us, dd@weddingvenueowners.com. Post the topics under. We are going to share some portions of this, publicly, but the next part is going to be private. That's the private podcast. And so if you have questions, comment in the comment section, help us share this information so that we can get more venues to participate. And on that note, I am very excited to announce our first winner of the website assessment, which we will cut. So some of you, your experience will end here. And you will have to go to weddingvenueowners.com, and under wedding resources, you will see a form to fill out that will allow you to join the private podcast. It costs nothing. You'll get it emailed every Wednesday, and you'll have a wealth of knowledge, and you'll be a website superstar. So for those of you who are not getting the rest of this, bye-bye and farewell. And we hope that you will sign up so that we will have you in the rotation, and you'll get to see the exciting thing that happens next. I'm very excited because it is Angel Montgomery with Lonesome Dove in, she's in Cleveland, Texas, I believe. It's right outside of Houston, Texas, not far from Houston. And Angel is amazing. She is a hardcore, incredible business owner. She has really built her business from the ground up with very limited resources and a bit of a tech aversion. And I'll tell you that she is very brave, because she's going to let us pick apart her website and really go to town on it and give a great assessment. And so I'm going to pause for a second, and then we're going to, Ariel, do you want to go ahead and pull up a screenshot, and we'll, all right. So bye everyone else. And all of you that are in the private podcast, get ready for some good stuff, because we are like going to go over this website and just really add our 2 cents and put our input in, and anything we miss, you all can, comment and tell us, hey, you didn't say this, or I noticed this or that. So this is going to be so much fun and so valuable. So this is Lonesome Dove's homepage, and I know you were expecting a lot worse. Trust me, and Ariel too, probably. I am a nerdy researcher. You all know that. I research websites just for breakfast on a daily basis. And I have a scale in my mind. And since this is private, I can say this out loud. My scale starts at dirty underwear and goes up to, best sales rep in the nation. Some websites look like dirty underwear, 100%. And, it always fascinates me that somebody would put just one landing page up and leave it there, and it looks like a bad Parks and Rec website from like, the 90s or something, when websites began, and there's terrible graphics, and there's like one bad image, and it's like blurry, or it looks like something you can't figure out. So on a scale of dirty underwear to ball gown or tuxedo, let's just do dirty underwear to tuxedo. I would say that my first impression of Lonesome Dove is somewhere in the middle. I'm not like, ooh, this is horrible. This is actually, I love the pictures, and I like that top picture of the bridesmaids up there. Immediately, that's fun, and not taking the whole experience too seriously. And that is Angel, to a T. that is the type of couple that, she's fun loving and she's very serious with business. But she's very fun loving. And so if you're a fun loving couple and you like to have fun and get a little wild at your wedding, you're going to have a great time with Lonesome Dove. On the other hand, Ariel, what are your thoughts on this homepage? You and I'm sure we're probably thinking the same thought bubbles, but you give us an assessment of this homepage.
So very first, as the first time seeing this kind of, I understand it's a wedding venue. I don't know where it's at. I don't know what to do next. And honestly, the first page, this is her homepage. This should be giving me ins and out. It's honestly what this is a gallery page.
Yep.
It's just a gallery of photos. I mean, it's a very long gallery of photos, which yes, photos help sell weddings. They're worth 1,000 words, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, you do need some text on this page. I need to know where you're located. I need to know what you do. What kind of weddings do you do? Do you do micro weddings, or do you just do all sorts of weddings, or what kind of, I need more information, and I need to know what to do next, because I'm scrolling. Okay, now what do I do? It's just a bunch of pictures. I think actually you even mentioned how movement is so beneficial on like a page because it will keep their interest. These are just photos on a page. So
can you scroll back up to the top, Ariel?
This is the top.
That's the top of it. So see where the gazebo is?
Mm-hmm.
Even with the gazebo photo, which I love the gazebo photo, even with the gazebo photo, you could take that photo out and put a click-through link right there, or something just like, hey, start the booking process, or let's be friends, or let's chat, or you could even change a temporary fix right now might be to put something there that has text. I could take that picture and add it to Canva and put some text and some links in there and like
you could do
a few seconds and create a call to action or some other information. The other thing is, and this is big for me, if you are a wedding website, wedding should be on that homepage. It should be immediately there. Wedding venue, actually.
So are they a wedding photographer?
Well, you could be a wedding planner, actually.
Because, a wedding planner? I don't know.
It could also just be an outdoor venue. You really aren't sure. The words wedding and venue don't exist on this homepage, and that's a huge issue. Right. So actually, it makes me wonder what the gallery is. The gallery, this page, what's the gallery like? So let's check the gallery out and just see. I gotta figure this out.
The other thing too is on your homepage, you want to put your location because that is some of the best SEO for demographics. That will help you show up more and help you, be at the top of when people are looking for wedding venues in Texas or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, the gallery is pretty much the same.
So another fix for this too is I see you have a layover. So you kind of have a nice gallery widget that's in there, and you probably can add layover text to those, or again, take the top images and add wedding venue, or just label them wedding venue ceremony, or Lonesome Dove ceremony site, Lonesome Dove outside ceremony, Lonesome Dove. I don't love images that are covered in text, but this would be sort of a solution as you're working towards improving on the layout and things that you have.
Well, the other question I have too with all these photos that she has is, I would love to see if these have alt text behind them, because any alt text is going to be SEO. I mean, she's got tons of amazing photos. So, if there's no alt text behind these, I mean, oh my gosh, she could have so much SEO pulled right here, which would help her pop up on Google where, it's outdoor wedding venues in Texas, or, whatever, you know what I mean? Just those simple things will help her pop up, like be number one. So
since we're talking about that, let's give her a list of 10 freebies just based on these photos. So I'll go, and then you go, and then I'll go. So I'm going to do country wedding Houston.
Yep. Outdoor weddings in Houston. Or is it in Houston or Austin?
It's Houston. It's close to Houston. I think it's Cleveland, Texas, but I'm not. And of course, you want to do some that say Cleveland, Texas, but for the most part, Houston is going to be your geo. Okay, so I'm going to say wedding chapel, Houston.
Yep. Rustic weddings.
Oh, that one was mine. Rustic wedding. Yes, a rustic charm. Cowboy wedding.
Country charm.
Texas wedding.
Shabby chic.
Let's see, outdoor ceremony site.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you get the picture with the terms. You do each image, you do kind of want to, you don't want to just copy and paste the same terms to every single one. So with the images of the flowers, you do want to put wedding flowers, wedding floral arrangement, wedding centerpiece, different terms like that. Also, wedding with on-site accommodations, bridal suite, that is a huge one. Wedding dress is a huge one. Lots of couples immediately are going to start looking for wedding dress. Grooms, groomsmen, bride, bridesmaid, engaged couples, flower children, flower girl, flower, ring bearer, all of those little cutesy ones. People just research those. So
wedding photographers.
Yeah, wedding planner, wedding
planner, yeah, all those catering, etc.
Oh, yeah.
She has so many great photos. I would love to see these actually sprinkled throughout the site on the different pages, because she has like the about page and stuff and the services page, but I don't think there's no pictures.
All right,
you want to keep that interest and just scatter them throughout.
Well, and also
it's really pretty, but it's very hard to read and it's very tiny.
Really, Ariel, you are so sweet.
Maybe that.
You're so sweet, because my first I was and Angel, I love you. Forgive me for this, and I hope this doesn't discourage anyone. But this is the dirty underwear page. Yeah, this is brown, and it's sad. Really and if the poop emoji had a wedding page, it would look like this. So
this is honestly one of the most important pages, because this is about you, about your venue, why they should choose you. Everybody always thinks that the about page is about them or whatever, but really it's about your ideal audience. So this is supposed to work them. This is supposed to sell to them and reiterate why you're so great, So obviously this text has to go. Like, change that font. I'm just gonna be real with you, girl.
And Angel, you are so much fun. You are so much fun, and you have so much personality. And a great one. I'm going to share some things that we never see on these pages. So what I love to see on this page is Angel and her husband's personality, because they are so much fun. I like it when you share that your daughter got married or your family got married. Some of those family pictures that kind of show, and especially if they got married at your property. That's a great one to share on the About Us page, because it makes it like, our family chose this place to get married. This is important for us. And we're not just selling it to you. This is where we chose to have a celebration. Also, if you can remember to take photos of you and the couple on the wedding day. So you and the couple in that moment where they're gushing about how much they love your venue, snapping a picture or something like that, sharing those personal images. But you definitely have to have images of yourself. Yeah. They can be professional, or they can be fun loving, or you could have multiple. Information about the history of the venue, how long you've been managing it, the couples that you host, and why you love hosting weddings. Do not waste this opportunity to put something so rigid and structured like your Facebook about thing that just says 27 acres near Houston, Texas, and be personal. They want to know the backstory. People book for backstories. This is your warm handshake, and this is slamming the door on that.
Right. This is what's going to set you apart from other venues. Really. This is those little things sometimes, like, oh my gosh, it's run by a family, or, those little sentimental type things, that kind of, which you like differentiates you from, other venues, where, okay, they just have a bunch of employees, it's not personable at all. So yeah, I would love to see some photos on here, maybe elaborate more on maybe about them and maybe about their journey of why they started this venue. That would be interesting to read, like, oh, well, like, why did this become a venue? Or what was the history here? All that. So that would be fantastic. And all those photos she has, sprinkle them throughout. The other one thing I noticed on this whole website is there's not one testimonial, not one review, which, oh my gosh, social proof. And just that, they're like gold. And I noticed on her Google My Business page, she has reviews. I would scatter them, sprinkle them throughout the whole website, because when you're trying to sell something, ideally your website is trying to sell your service. So, if you have your pricing, if you don't have your pricing, regardless, have what you have, but then you want to back it up. You want somebody to say how amazing it is to work with you, how much fun it was, how my wedding was the complete dream. And when I buy something on Amazon, guess what? I read the reviews. That's just how people are these days. They want to read it firsthand. They want to know what it's like. And if you have them, use them. I mean, if you're not getting reviews or testimonials right now, try to start. I mean, it is literally one of the best things because it's search engine optimization, because those keywords, those are going to help. And those are real people giving real reviews. You can't fudge that. So, I mean, that would be fantastic to put on your about page. And even in your galleries, like you could divide up some of those photos, maybe do like a gallery here and then a banner that has one of the testimonials and then more photos, something to break up the page. So it's not just a bunch of boxes, on a page. Make it interesting.
What I like about this, what I'm noticing is, and don't forget, we have to talk about those social media links. So we're going to check those out in a minute, but I like that you see Lonesome Dove at the top, and then you see the menu, and the menu is everything. It's your navigator, it's your guide, it's the welcome into the building and the navigate you around. So we've used home, which is a gallery, about, which has nothing on it, galleries, which is a gallery. Then there's a calendar, which we haven't looked at, leave a message, and contact info, which are essentially the same thing.
Yes. So you want your contact page and your leave a message, which is the way to contact you, to be all in one.
Yes. And you could use that valuable space holder for something else, like a vendor list. And I do want to say, I know some of you out there don't want to list vendors on your website, and that's okay. How about a wedding resources page where you list things about Houston, hotel stays. Maybe you don't want to list vendors, you want that private. So list some public things, places to have a bachelorette party. Those are key phrases that aren't on a lot of wedding websites and are very valuable. Some of the things might be efficiency or restaurants where you can have your rehearsal dinner, or some of those things that don't conflict with you and aren't really a vendor list, so that you can withhold some more value and say, once you booked with us, we give you our vendor resources. Some of you prefer to do that, but this gives you geolocation and those key links that will help you with SEO. So it might not be as personable. I think it's more valuable to list the vendors on the website for the SEO links, but that leave a message page could be another valuable page with other resources. That's what I would recommend, maybe.
You know what I would also really like to see? It looks like they have like multiple locations where they could actually have their ceremonies and whatnot. I would like to see maybe even about like spaces available, and then have like a drop down menu of the different ones, so they could see, okay,
keywords, more keywords.
Outdoors, or what, I don't know what these are called, because I just don't know, like these different spaces or whatever listed. So then I would break it down, so then they can see all the pictures of this room instead of them scattered, because like it's like, okay, wait, which room is that, or which room is this? You know what I mean? I think that would help organize this and kind of break them up.
Also, it would help add some of your packages. So if you don't have pricing on your website, which this one doesn't, pricing is your best screening tool, one of your best screening tools. So I love listing it online. Sometimes people, there's services. Okay. Okay. So if you don't have pricing listed there and you're using that as a way to get people to contact you and start that, I get it. That's part of how your process is set up. But either way that you do it, you certainly want to list some of those key phrases on there. So another use for that leave a message page, or for not having those various pages, would be that drop down of the ceremony, the ceremony reception, with the images being sorted out that way. But also your keywords are now very dominant there, and those are going to help you with your Google searches and your SEO. But then it also allows you to list, some of the packages in that, even if you don't want to list all your pricing or whatever. Micro weddings and mini weddings and things like that are so popular right now. A lot of you want to sell more of those. So if that phrase isn't listed in any dominant way or any easily findable way, then you're missing out on that opportunity to have those phrases in there and that information. It's another booking opportunity. So already in this $500 assessment, which we've deemed is the appropriate price tag on here, because I think I'm so important. I think of myself very highly, that 10 to 15 minutes of assessment is worth $500. But we've already created so much value in some of these suggestions, because just putting a better format to this and just adding some more of that information and those keywords right there would just probably help book 10 to 20% more is going to be an estimate. And that's just an estimate. We don't know, but I would absolutely guess that having something else on that homepage, that moving scroll of images and text and guidance and direction and call to action would lead to the pricing, lead to the packages, lead to what is offered here. Is this a venue or a wedding planning service? And I love the renderings or the maps. So another gorgeous graphic that you could have had on here somewhere is it looks like you've got multiple ceremony sites, multiple spaces. When you have multiple spaces and ceremony sites like that, I love it. So charming when you have the little, you know, graphic, colorful map or layout of your property, and it looks really professional. And again, that gets them to fall in love with what they're seeing.
Yep. I've actually seen where a few wedding venues, they actually, you know, pay for like that to be in watercolor or whatnot.
Yes.
And I've actually seen where they give it to their brides or, you know, their couple, since they already own that graphic, and then they can use it on their, you know, save the dates or their invitations. Like, this is the map of where you're going to be, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like an added little like, extra charm. So actually looking at the services page, this is like such a great thing that it's so tiny. Let's see, can I zoom in? Oh gosh. So all of our packages can include catering, cake, cleanup services, DJ services, wedding coordinating, linen, photography, and decorating.
Like that could be right there on the homepage, and done. I'm booked. Like that's all I needed to see on the homepage. Let's book this venue. I'm ready to go.
Yep. That means, oh wow, it's gonna be taken care of. I'm just gonna sit back and relax, you know, like.
Do we have the word all inclusive anywhere there? Like my poor eyeballs, I need like the magnifying glass, but do we see the word?
No.
Okay, so, and that's another incredible keyword that could be helping you book more weddings and turn more of the prospects that come here into booked couples. So that word all inclusive, the words you use are really important. They're small, but they're impactful.
Right.
So let's check out oh yeah, you're already on it.
Well, I'm not sure what this is.
It tells you that, I don't know. Is that a contact pop-up?
I have no idea. It looks like you can hit the thing, like hit the date, and you can put in information, but I can't even read this text. So.
Yeah, the font is not ideal.
Yeah.
Reminder to all watching, font is important. Don't go crazy.
Very important. Very important. You need to make it easy to read, because, you know, some people are going to be looking at these on mobile devices. Some people just can't read text. Like I honestly, like this up here, I have really good eyes, and I mean, I can't really tell what that is. So I think if she picked maybe some more on brand, you know, maybe font pairings, I think that would help too. Let's see. And then the leave the message, let's see. So view form. Can you see this page, or is it not sharing it?
I see it.
The white one?
Form's actually pretty nice. I'm not mad at that form. And then I finally see the location. I was right, Cleveland, Texas.
Yep. I feel like that's an extra step. Like this should just be embedded on this page. You know what I mean? It's like I shouldn't have to click on the button to view the form. I think she could probably have this embedded on to this actual page, which, I mean,
and let's
have an unnecessary step.
You know, I like drinking games. So I think a drinking game you all can play at home is, how many times do you see the word wedding and venue on a website? I don't know that we've seen wedding venue.
I think it was only on About Us. Hold on, let's see.
And it's so tiny.
Actually, it doesn't say wedding venue. It says we have a wedding chapel. Yeah, I don't even see the word venue, wedding venue.
So if finding the words wedding and venue are a drinking game, after you look at your websites, you should all be wasted and no driving, because it should be in there.
I do see all inclusive though. Remember when we?
Oh, all right. We have that. We found that one.
We offer venue rental only, but we have a la carte options. Okay, so there you go.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah, they need to definitely highlight that.
That's a little confusing.
Yeah, it's a little kind of contradicting.
But it's okay, because no one can read that text anyway. So
yeah. All right, let's go to contact. So feel free to contact us anytime. So this is where you definitely want to have a contact form. You want
Yeah,
to make
wasn't
it
the
easy.
form on the leave a message page?
Yeah, but that's why I think I would combine these
Yeah.
pages.
So, and again, you have to remember most of them are looking at your website on their phone and they're
Right.
drinking their iced coffee or doing whatever and they're scrolling.
Mhm.
So if you're making them do more than like, one hand's worth of whatever, go back here and there, you're really taking a chance of losing their attention or having them forget or having them look at something else and get distracted and then they don't realize they didn't send you a contact form. You need to make it easy, like you're literally spoon feeding them directions to connect with you.
It's got to be so easy. And actually the contact page, a lot of people I've seen just like put up their details and call it a day. Literally your contact page goes hand in hand with call to actions because this is your last chance to connect with them and get them to inquire. You want to warm them up. You want a cute photo or something. You want to keep it interesting and memorable. You definitely want something that's going to be like, yeah, I want to contact them. Like, okay.
There should also be a slogan or something, Lonesome
Oh,
Dove, and then like their headline or their byline or their slogan that
right.
you use repeatedly in your marketing material.
Yes.
All right, Ariel, we are running out of time. So let's check out what happens when we click on those social media buttons up there.
Let's see.
All right. Now, did it open a new browser? Yes, it did. All right. Points to you for having your social media, A, working, and B, easily found, and C, open into a new browser. I absolutely love that. And as you can see, the Facebook page looks way better and it's more engaging and interactive. You have happy couples, you have video there, you're updating it. You have so much good info. Oh, can we go to the top of that and check out that top picture though?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a huge pet peeve of mine. That's a gorgeous photo. Absolutely. It's beautiful. But when you all have gorgeous photos that you love and you stick them up at the top in your horizontal, not vertical, it's a horizontal banner on Facebook, or if you do YouTube or any of that, it's still pretty good because you've got a cowboy hat in there. I love a cowboy hat, and you've got a chandelier, and it's okay. But it's not ideal. If you can't take that and stick that over in Canva and shrink it down and then crop it in a way that's better for you, use a different photo there. I can't tell you how many of your Facebook pages I go to and I see some sort of weird thing like, is that a garden? Is it a garden hose? What is happening there? And you click on the image and it's so beautiful. You can't even believe it. But they put an image in there that's vertical, meant for a horizontal space. And all of your couples don't know that either. They're not Facebook experts. They're probably not going to click on the image to see what it's meant to be. So please be, we get very personal when we want to put stuff up there. I love that couple. I love that picture. I get it, but it's not.
Make it fit. Yep.
That even upset Lexi.
Yep.
So
I have two big things. So one, she has 84 reviews here and none of them are on her site. Look at that. I mean, that's amazing. Fantastic reviews. And the number one thing about her site, so I don't know if you can see this, how it says not secure up here.
Oh, yeah.
So she does not have a security certificate on this site. So that is a huge thing. The other thing is I noticed her website is .net.
Yes.
So a .net is typically for IT tech, networking, that type of thing. And I actually even just looked it up. .com is for $12 or $13. You can buy the .com version. And I would recommend doing that because .net is not going to do her any justice because, again, people are used to typing in .com. They're not going to want to type in .net because .net, again, is for network. So that's one big thing as I would look into is having her get that domain name and trying to, I mean, she could technically have both and have one point to the other so she doesn't have to lose it. But I mean, for $13, I would definitely have her look into that.
And if once you get a web designer or you hire Ariel to redo your site, you can have the lonesomedove.net leading over to lonesomedovecleveland.com.
Yep. So it's all the same site. It's just if they type in either of them, it's going to direct them to the one. So makes it
nice new fresh one. Let's see what happens when we click on Pinterest.
Open up and then, yep. Okay. Yep.
Oh, I think I looked at this yesterday and I was like, no.
I think she should post like some of her pictures.
This
I
would
mean,
be
so
like if you would just get rid of, some of that and just put all of, so much photo after photo after photo and just use this as your gallery. So that I know sometimes with our Pinterest and things like that, we do pin things that we like, and that's fine.
Nails.
I memean, nails are very popular. Those nice daggers that the young ladies like to wear these days. I just sounded really old. But I mean, your venue first, your sales first, your conversion first, your images, and you have so many, it's a great place to put.
Yes. That's sometimes half the battle is getting these quality images. Oh my gosh, she has tons though.
Yeah. And another thing too is, and you may not have experienced this, so it might not be an issue, but I like to make sure that I put the photography credit in every post on Facebook and social media. Some of you are great with that. And then putting the photography link in every single image is really important to me. I want to make sure I love up those photographers, credit them every time, and never get into a big issue with an angry photographer or photographer that feels like I used their images and didn't give them credit. So it's also great for keywords and linking and SEO. And again, you're going to be validating your website and getting Google's attention by adding more of those links and keywords. And again, if Ariel and I could peek on the back end and just see how those images are labeled back there, is there any keyword? Is there any alt text? Are there any links? It doesn't look like they're linking to anywhere. You just can scroll over, but I guarantee you in the back end of there, you probably have a space to put a link, and that could be where that photographer, yes, it's a little more time consuming, but it makes a big impact.
It does, for sure.
All right. Well, I think that wore me out a little bit. We got into that. That was awesome. That was an awesome first assessment. So again, shout out to Angel with Lonesome Dove. You are a brave woman and amazing. And thank you so much, all of you who signed up for the private podcast for the wedding website strategies. We are so excited. Hopefully we have some brave souls that will allow us to do a website assessment for them. The thing is to never take these things too personally. These are for your advancement and your improvement. And for us to be overly kind or sensitive is not going to serve you anything at all. That's a $10 assessment where I tell you it looks great, nothing's wrong with it. We definitely take this seriously. We want you to succeed. And that website is so absolutely vital and valuable and important. So we want to thank you so much for watching today. And we hope that this was valuable and important for you. If so, please let us know. We want feedback. Don't go radio silent. Tell us. This is our call to action to you. Comment, share, tag us in the Facebook group and make a post and say something that helped you or something you changed from your website, or did we leave something out? Did you see something glaring that we missed and that we could help Angel on the back end with her website? So tell us your feedback. We want it. We also want you to ask us questions so that we can use your questions to guide us in the future as we're making these podcasts. So we will be posting this on Wednesday, whatever next Wednesday is. Today is Friday the 13th, which is our very first podcast. That's a good omen, I believe. So this will be published on the 18th and email blasted on the 18th at 10 a.m. And then every Wednesday at 10 a.m. you'll get email blasts. So go to weddingvenueowners.com, register for the private podcast under wedding venue resources. And while you're there, take a look around. We have 2 new pages, wedding buy, sell, and trade, and wedding documents. So we are going to start a wedding document drop where monthly, if you drop in your documents, it could be pricing, it could be your contracts, your catering policy, vendor policies, your brochures with all of your marketing information. It will not be shared publicly. It will be a document drop once a month. So you put your documents in, and then once a month, I will email documents from other venues to you, and you will get to stay innovative and creative and be able to view what other wedding venues are doing in their documents. There's so much good stuff on the website. Make sure you reach out to Ariel. Ariel, what's the website again?
It's idodesign.studio.
And if you are looking for a website and you're not sure what to do, and people always say, well, why do you give this information for free? An ideal client for someone who's doing websites and things like that is any client, of course. Anyone that needs help, but it's the client that maybe could do it themselves and realizes, hey, I don't want any part of this headache. I'm not going to spend days and weeks and months and then have to keep going back and keep adjusting it. Listen, create it, develop it, or I have a great website, I just need these add-ons or whatever it is. So please connect with Ariel. She is a wedding venue owner and she is a web design expert. So if you are thinking about upgrading or changing or developing, or you want a consultation, please connect with Ariel.
Yeah, I'm always happy to give just tidbits of information. Obviously, I don't want to do everybody's website, but I'm happy to help when I can. So feel free to reach out if you have questions or you want me to take a look at your site. I'm happy to do so.
Awesome. All right, Ariel. So I will see you next week. Thank you so much.
All right, bye.